Bobby here, check it out. Looks like a Washburn N4. I wanted to get a video out on this real fast because I just got this guitar and wanted to talk about it. Before I get going, I'm up to 1,800 subscribers and want to say thank you for everybody who watches the video and that subscribes, so thank you. And as that thing drops down, if you could click and subscribe if you haven't subscribed already, and smash the like button, as they say. This is, when I got this on Reverb, and it was like a pawn shop, and they called it a Washburn N25. Never heard of that. But it looks like, I could tell right from the beginning, it was a Washburn import. I'm not sure if it was made in China or Singapore. A long time ago, there was a place called Funky Monkey that sold a lot of Washburn guitars and stuff like that. They claimed that they would make bodies for Washburn and distribute and whatever kind of stuff they were doing. And one of the guys said that I was looking to get an N4, and they're very, very expensive. And I was looking to go down a cheaper route. And he said, well, we have an import. I don't know if it was made in China or Singapore. And it was the equivalent of, if you're going to get a Mexican or American Fender, you could get a Squire that'd be, a little lower in quality and it'd be cheaper. And so he said, it's kind of like a Squire almost of an N4 version. And I was like, all right. And I got it, and it looked just like this. A rosewood fretboard, it wasn't ebony, a Floyd Rose special. There was no veneer. If you get an N24, I think it's a natural relic, or the N24 Padauck, they have like a thin veneer on them. And then I think, like for the Padauck, it has like a red, and for the natural relic, it's like a veneer that looks kind of creamy and dirty, like it's relic. I've actually had one of those a couple of years back, ended up just selling it because I got it for a real low price at Guitar Center. And, even to buy some of those now, they're like $1,200. Good quality though. So I sold that, but I've been looking now to get like an N20, an N4. I don't know if it's Padauck or Padauck, whatever the name of the word is for that particular wood. I saw this, and the guy had it. It was like a pawn shop or something, an N25. So I got it. It was a really low price. And when you look at it, it looks great. It's got the cutaway. It definitely has the Bill Lawrence pickup because I took it out. I took both pickups out. And a Floyd Rose special. The reason I wanted to do this video is kind of like a buyer beware, because you'll see on eBay or DHgate, it'll say, an N4. And for $300, and those are just a lot of problems. Everything on them, it may look cool, but nothing is lined up as far as the way they put their fake Floyd, or the way the strings are, or there's problem with it's lots of problems. So I'd say right off the bat, if you do want to get an N4 and you can't spend the money, which is understandable, try to hunt around maybe to get an N24, because it's almost kind of the same guitar as far as playability and quality. And, it has all the appointments where it has a Bill Lawrence. I think it has a Washburn style Duncan 59. But this guitar, I'm not sure if the wood is alder, but there's no veneer on it. They put like a clear on it, and they maybe kind of scuffed it up or whatever they do to kind of make it look like it's road worn, like Nuno's. As a matter of fact, I remember the first time I saw it, an N4 was at a Nuno clinic in 1990, the summer of 1990, right when Pono Graffiti was coming out. And I was like just amazed when I saw the guitar with the cutaway. And listen, Nuno's just an incredible player. And I'll actually get a video out because I took a lot of pictures that day. I actually had a micro recording. I recorded the clinic, but I lost the recording. I'm going to try to see if I can find it and I can put it up. And I also went to a Paul Gilbert clinic. So down the road, maybe when I get to 2,000 subscribers, I'll do a video on the two clinics I went to for the Paul Gilbert and for the Nuno one. And really, Nuno was out there to introduce this. I introduced the N24. And great player, great guitar. Now with this, I had to do a lot of work to try to make this playable. Even the one I had gotten years ago, I ended up returning it because where the frets are, they weren't rounded or filed at the end. It was just so sharp to play. That was one issue. And the frets need to be leveled. And I didn't want to deal with that, so I just called the guy and said, I want to return this. And he's like, sure, fine, return it. And so, I'm always looking around to see if I can find an N4 at a low price. So I found this. I was like, it was really cheap. And I said, what the hell, I'll grab it. And luckily, I'm pretty good at kind of fixing some things here and there. And, I got some tools to kind of make things a little bit better. The body and the neck look cool. It has a Floyd Rose special, but for some reason, this thing just, all the parts on here, like even, this, I don't even know what you call this, these bolts, so you can tighten the strings into the blocks. I think one of them is like almost stripped. Just the metal is just so cheap. And even the block is a tiny little cheap block. So that's one issue right there. I mean, listen, it does the job. It does the job of a Floyd Rose, trying to, lock it in so you can do some big dives or pull-ups and things like that. It does have a Bill Lawrence pickup. I took it out, and I think it sounds great. I gotta figure out that song. But it sounds good. And now the pickup, and all the Washburn N4s come with a Duncan 59 in the neck. This one, it says Duncan USM. So I think this is probably like a Duncan design pickup where, they just license out the schematics for somebody else to build it for like a guitar like this. So kind of like the way some of those Squires will come with Duncan design pickups. And it's not bad sounding. Toggle switch is real flimsy. Luckily, I have another one kicking around over here, so I'm going to switch that out. A lot of the problems I had with this guitar was the neck and the action and adjusting the truss rod. Even, I'll put a picture up with the neck pickup it was slanted. It was like I had to fill up the holes and re-drill it to kind of make it somewhat, if you want to call it leveled, because you could clearly see it was off. And the other thing was on the neck, the strings weren't lined up. It was almost like the low E was almost coming off the fretboard. So I had to take the neck off, sand down this piece of wood on the neck, and then on this part, I had to cut that out a little so I could realign the neck. And then I had to put at least, like if I use pretty much heavy picks, I had to put enough shims that are like double the size of these picks. I don't know if you can see it over here, because the neck was so low that they were literally touching the pickups. I couldn't lower the pickups anymore. And so I thought this is going to be a pain, because if you look over here, on the cutaway, it's supposed to be flush with the body. And now it's not, because I had to put shims to lift this up a little so I could raise the Floyd and adjust the pickups to make them a little bit higher, and then, obviously get the action where I need it to be. So it's a lot of little work involved. I mean, the main thing was I had to spend a little time taking the neck off, put it back on to try to line up the strings correctly. And even over here, if you look at the dots, I think it's these 3 dots are in line. The one on the 15th fret is off. I don't know if you can see that. A lot of little things. I mean, listen, if you're good at tinkering, these are a guitar to get. But if you're not good at tinkering and you get one of these imports, or you get one of the ones from China that are, knockoffs, just, I wouldn't do it. It's more trouble than it's worth. Nothing lines up. Even those Floyds are really cheap on the Chinese ones. As far as the neck goes, the neck feels great. I've always been a big fan of the extended cutaway. I think it's really cool because you can really get up and, you can get up, to the 22nd fret, and really play. But there's so much work involved to get this thing straightened out. And even all the parts on here are just, you can feel that they're not quality. It says Grover tuning pegs. Obviously they work, Good little shot of the headstock there. But if you're good with tinkering around and you can get, what this one was called like an import, which is very hard to find. But I'd be very careful because even on eBay and Reverb, they'll have Washburn N4 made in Japan. And even when you look at the way the bodies are, regular N4s are pretty much, a clear body, a natural body, natural wood. And some of them will have the N4 sticker, some of them won't. But these, when you look at those, it's almost like they've got like the way a Telecaster would look. There's a lot of clear on it. So I'm not sure if maybe at one point that Washburn was making N4s out of Japan. I'm not too sure. You have to do a little digging. If you are going to get one from those particular ones where they say from Japan, ask for the actual picture of the guitar, not the standard photo they have. Because I saw one that was from Japan, and every time I asked to send a photo, they kept sending over the stock photo. And listen, if you get it from Japan and then it's a problem or it's not the actual guitar you saw in the picture, it's a hard time returning those. I got to say, it's a comfortable neck. I got to replace the toggle switch. This is super loose. I mean, I spent the weekend just trying to get this thing set up so it's playable. It feels good, but when I play it, it just doesn't feel like a solid guitar. It feels like I got to baby a little because it feels like something's going to break off. So I just wanted to get this video out there, kind of just saying, if you see the Chinese ones that are selling on eBay or DHgate, don't even bother with those. If you do want to get, one of these style guitars and you don't want to spend over $2,000 for like a regular N4, I suggest getting the N24 Natural Relic or the N24 Padauck, because the quality in those are pretty good. And, they do have a Bill Lawrence pickup. They do have a Floyd Rose Special, which is probably a lot more solid than this particular one. And the neck, I guess it would be like a Duncan 59 style. It has a W on it, so maybe they use a Duncan 59 schematics, and Washburn maybe makes those pickups or they license them out. It doesn't really say where this one is made, but probably, China, and they were just pumping these things out, but they weren't really paying attention to quality. And a lot of times, if you do think that you want to put together your own N4, you'll see some bodies on Reverb or eBay and then some necks. That takes a lot of work too, because then you got to find the right screws to fit in. You got to find the neck plate, which are hard to find. And a lot of times, the necks will not line up correctly with the body. Because when you're getting, say, a Fender or Charvel or Jackson, they'll make a lot of necks and they'll make bodies and then they put everything together. But I was told that when they make a lot of these guitars, they pretty much have to make the body, make the neck, and then they have to sit there and really do a lot of precision work to make sure everything lines up correctly. I'm not sure if Washburn sources some of their stuff out and then they have their guys kind of put everything together. But there's a little work involved. All in all, I've played the regular N4s. I love those. I'm trying to get a Padauck. And, normally I would do when I do one of some of my demo videos, I'll play like a fun solo at the end with some backing track. But I just wanted to get, I'm not going to do one today. I just wanted to get this video out just saying, if you're going to get one of these, pay very close attention to where it's coming from. Ask for pictures. If you don't see a Floyd Rose Special or even a regular Floyd Rose, it looks like a black tremolo double locking, then you're just going to have a lot of problems. So if you have any comments, leave them below. Any questions, you can email me. I hope anything I did here was informative today. Again, even this one, I got it. I can't return it because it was, it's playable technically. But looking back on it now, maybe I shouldn't have got it. I mean, it didn't cost me too much, and I can do some videos with it and have some fun with it. But as far as like a solid, guitar, not really. Looks cool. It's kind of like when you get, a Gibson, it may look like a great looking Les Paul, and some of them are okay, but you have to tweak them. And this was a lot of work. I mean, I spent all weekend trying to put the right shims in there to get this up, and then to get to the truss rod, I have to take the pickup out and had to adjust the truss rod a bunch of times, and hopefully it'll stay. So I've got it pretty much playable. A couple little things I'm going to switch. So I just want to get this out there. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe if you haven't, and I'll see you soon. Thank you.